Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. How things have been
So,
going for
where
you?
are you right now?
I'm in my office.
Where's your office?
It's in Quebec City.
Quebec City. Okay, nice.
That's where I live.
That's awesome. I've been hearing there's a lot of NDT companies in Quebec City, headquartered over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have all of the major one. You have Tech, Sonatel, Pragma NDT as well. So most of them are right there. Can you still hear me?
I think you just cut off entirely. But now I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
normally
yeah,
my internet connection is pretty good, but yeah, exactly. So as I was saying, we have like most of the NDT companies over here, like Edify, Olympus, Zetec, Sonatis. What am I missing? Like there's even Creaform, which is doing the 3D
yeah.
logo scanning, Pragma NDT, and on the eddy current side there is SG NDT. So quite a few of them,
Wow.
along with.
Why is that? Is that a coincidence or is there a reason for that?
I mean, a lot of it started with the root of Olympus. I mean, it all started with RD Tech. And
Yes.
at that time, so a lot of businesses, not all of them, but a lot started there. So quite a few people from RD started their own business,
Yeah.
and slowly throughout the years, I mean, we've had all of those businesses. At one point, I mean, RD has been split in two. One piece became Olympus, the other
Olympus,
piece
the other
became
became Z-Tech.
Zetec. Sonatis come from a guy that founded Arfang Micro Technology. He was a former employee of RD
Okay.
Arfang became Sonatis. The headquarters of Sonatis is in the UK, but the R&D piece is here in Quebec. And this guy, François Magui, started his own business, Pragma NDT. Well, Edify, quite a few people from Edify came from Zetec. Martin Thériault worked quite a few years, the founder of Edify worked quite a few years at Zetec, along with Michael Silva. So they saw the market opportunity, and well, so they've had a great success now.
Of course, yeah.
They've bought quite a few companies, and they've had really
Yeah, they
really
started
impressive growth.
acquisitions like crazy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, they I believe the objective is to have for them to have a complete portfolio, so they can cover all of the NDT needs. So they're definitely on the right track to achieve that.
That's great. Yeah, it's been for a long time. It's just been like the Olympus is the market leader for everything, and now this Edify is picking up the pace and trying to compete with them.
Yeah.
It feels good to have competition like that, no?
No, absolutely. I think it's healthy for the market. I mean, it provides more option for the user. It forces everyone to get better.
Definitely. So, how do you say your company name?
So this is a KOROK Technology. So
KOROK.
really, KOROK, I mean, it is a bit of a tougher name to say in English, but it's been inspired from a river in northern Canada. So the let's say the principle or the idea behind it is that it's a northern river that can only be reached by the most adventurous people. So this is like the
Interesting.
entrepreneurship spirit there, as well. The symbolism as well is the fact that, I mean, a river flows. So the purpose of KOROK is really to make the life of NDT technicians and NDT service company in general easier. So it has to flow, it has to be easy. So
Wow.
that's
So,
why I thought about it.
what's an example of that? How do you make it smoother and make it flow?
I mean, myself, I worked on both sides. On the manufacturing side, my background has been on the Sonatis, so working on the application and product development side. But I've also worked for a service company, an advanced service company. So I've seen both. So on the service side, I've seen how challenging it is to, I mean, in fact, I saw that bringing new technology is demanding, in the sense that you have to train the technicians, you have to learn the technology, apply it properly according to the codes and everything. So this is one thing. And also, although many service companies today are using like advanced technologies like digital radiography, phased array, pulse eddy current, all right? Many company, and this is impressive, I mean, how many of them still rely on pen and paper. So that was the challenge for me. So really getting, making this transition from paper to digital. So what I've built at KOROK is a digital companion. Essentially, this is an application that runs either on a tablet, a phone, or a PC that is helping the field technicians collecting the information in the field. So they're collecting the information into a digital format, and it generates the report automatically. So it's a single click and they get the report. And as you know, I mean, NDT, it's a multi-industry, all right? You have oil and gas, the aerospace market, the mining, pulp and paper, and it's also multi-technology, all right? Eddy current, ultrasonic, phased array, all right? There's a wide range of technology. So it is quite challenging. And although there were a few applications are there that were kind of field service oriented, when you get to this level of complexity between industries and technologies, there was really nothing on the market that was flexible enough and easy enough to use for NDT service companies. So this is what, this is the niche where KOROK fits in, because I combine this knowledge from the NDT world along with the IT world together.
Okay, perfect. So now is that like a KOROK is an app that we can download, or we can name the app by ourselves and create apps? Because I saw something on your platform that you give us the platform and we have the flexibility to make our own apps and something like, can you tell us more?
That's correct. So this is really like a workflow and reporting platform. So yes, you have the app, but I mean, like most service companies, they like to like their report is really their flavor. This is their signature.
Yeah,
so
they have to customize it based on the client requirements or based on their own procedures. Yeah,
exactly. So they can easily customize the application to their specific needs. And for this, there is a web portal. So on the web portal, this is where all of the results coming from the field are being uploaded. So you get an overall view of all of the results, all of your reports. But this is also where you can customize your app. So we have what we call an app builder, where you can simply with drag and drop function modify the application per se and tie your report. So you can still use Excel or Microsoft Word as your format, but all of the data will be automatically populated on into those formats. So you have the benefits of leveraging your existing forms, but now they are filled automatically from the information that has been gathered on the tablet. And the beauty of this is that a lot of things can be automated. We can connect with external systems. So like all of the customer information can be pulled from your CRM system. And when you're into the field, if you can scan barcodes, you can leverage NFC like near field communication tags. Of course, you can take picture. You can leverage the fact that you have GPS capabilities. So really, we're taking full advantages of the capabilities offered by the smart device.
So, okay, so is this a cloud-based service, or is it on my laptop and I need to have so much space and memory for that?
We offer two models. So the preferred model is the cloud option. It's going to be hosted on a cloud, so therefore you don't need to install anything. It's super easy to deploy for any organization. All right. But that being said, the application per se will run offline. So if you're out in the field, no internet, no cellular connection,
exactly.
It's going to work. It's going to still work. And whenever you have internet connection, then the information will
upload.
synchronize.
Now, can I connect this cloud-based to directly to the equipment, or do I have to first transfer the data into my laptop and then upload it to the cloud-based server?
All right. So good question. I mean, there are quite a few different inspection techniques. So like PT and TVT. I mean, you don't necessarily have to interact with with an instrument, but when you come with ultrasonic testing, as for example,
Yeah.
what we offer is that you can leverage a wireless USB dongle so that you can transfer the information between your phone or tablet and the instrument. So, as for example, so you can push a configuration file to the unit such that you have the right parameters, and you can retrieve either the raw data, a screen capture, and this will be added directly into your report.
Okay, interesting.
And from there, once the information is on the tablet, you can either send it directly. You can generate a report that will be sent to you by email, but you can also push it towards an external server. Let's say it can be through an FTP link, it can be through Google Drive, Box, AWS, whatever, let's say, service the company is using.
Interesting. So, how is this like when a service company wants to use this platform? Is it a one standard fee, or is it based on the number of users, or is it based on like the number of space or the GB that you need to upload? How does the pricing work?
Yeah. So when approaching this, I mean, today there is on the market, there is one commercial model that is highly popular, and this is like the per user approach. So whenever you get someone on board, you pay, let's say, X dollar per month per user. So I did not want that because in the NDT world, as you know, you have peak seasons with a lot of work, everyone working full time, but you also have like a quiet time, right?
Right.
Where you have a few people on the bench during that period. So as you have those fluctuation, I did not want to have a per user approach because I feel that it would be kind of a barrier because some people the companies will not want to have all of their user using the product because, I mean, when the work goes down, all right, they have to pay for a recurring fee even though nobody's using it. So rather than using this approach, we went with a per report. So essentially it's transaction based, it's a pay as you go. So every time a report is submitted to the platform, then you pay.
I see.
And so a simple report, you will pay less. A more complex report, you will pay a little more. And the more report that you're generating, then the price will decrease as well. So essentially, you.
Hello?
Here I am.
Yeah, I think it just froze for a few seconds. So you cut off where you said the pricing depends on the complexity of the reports, and simple reports will be different pricing, and then more complex reports would be expensive. But then as you do more reports, the price goes down.
Well, exactly. So this is how it works. And the only thing I've added after that is the fact that, so it means that whenever you use it, you do pay, but it also means that you have revenues coming in because most NDT companies get paid when they deliver the report, the final report. So the faster you deliver it, the faster you can you get paid as well.
I see. So anything else that this platform offers as like, why do we need an app for that? What does the app do to us? What's the additional feature that the app offers?
Yeah. So really, like the core benefit is like the two keywords are compliance and automation. I mean,
Okay.
you know how challenging it is to to ensure if you had like 10 step with the app, you get the 100% assurance that all of the 10 step have been completed by the technicians, right? When the guy goes on site, I mean, he has like so many things that he needs to think about, like the health and safety stuff. I mean, making sure that he has all of his equipment. I mean, then depending on the type of work, some will go from one customer to another. So criteria may change on the type of jobs. So this is a lot of things to think about. So now with the app, we're making sure that all of the steps are done. We're also helping the technician, making sure that he's applying the right acceptance criteria, so we can embed the calculation into the app, such that you, as for example, if you're measuring a flaw, then we'll make a recommendation whether or not this flaw shall be accepted. We leave the choice to the technician to make the final call, because sometimes you can be borderline, but the software will make the recommendation. And it's also a matter of making his life easier. So rather than having a picture on one device, files on his USB stick, and then collecting or merging all of his notes into an Excel file, everything is done on the tablet. So he's saving a lot of time. So
I see.
Typically, I mean, you'll save minimally 15% of time. Often you reach like 40%. You'll get your report done in like 40%, half the time it would typically take. For the service company, they have a proof that the work was done properly. If there is anything missing, then there will be a good reason. So you will know that our equipment was not accessible. So it provides an overall view of what is the work, how the work is progressing across all of the technicians. And from my perspective, it's also a way to transfer the knowledge from your most experienced worker to your new workers. Because as the software, as the digital companion is acting as a step-by-step guide, you can somewhat embed the knowledge from your most experienced workers into this smart application. So you can provide those extra guidance. You can make sure that this full experience that you've gained is passed on to your younger technicians. It is a way to ensure that across all of your technicians, the work is done the same way. The reporting is done in a standardized manner, and you don't have somebody using version report 2 when you're at version report number 4. All right. Then you have somebody, a clerk at the office, that needs to redo all of the reports. So you're avoiding a lot of those mistakes and a lot of those challenges that the companies are facing today.
I see. Interesting. So how much of this work is done by the company in setting up all the app requirements and the reporting formats, and how much of it is you guys doing it and we just give you the guidelines and the requirements?
Well, the customers are coming to us. We have a library of examples that are already available, and most of the time that's going to be that's going to meet their need to 80%. And it's a matter of personalizing, customizing this to their specific format. Like for the most regular inspection, PT, MT, RT processes are similar. So it's really a matter of fine-tuning this to their specific needs. Then from there, they'll get started using the product, and at any time they can add or develop new apps. They can adjust their processes. So if they're making changes for the specific customer, then they can make the change themselves, and it's going to be deployed across all of their technicians instantaneously. Of course, you can like create groups and everything, groups of users, and deploy it to the right people. All right.
Got it.
So essentially, I mean, we make sure that it's kind of easy for them, because they get on board. We personalize a couple of first applications for them. They learn how to do it. Then it's a matter of choosing whether they want to have it as a managed service. So we do it for them, or if they train somebody internally to such that they have full autonomy.
Got it. This is really interesting. Is this compatible with all the equipment manufacturers like Olympus, Zetec, Sonatest?
It is, because in fact we don't have like to we're retrieving the data, we're retrieving the screen capture we will not do like the analysis per se. So if you're recording phased array data, you will still have to do the analysis using whatever software you're using.
Right.
But then the output of it, what would often be called the indication table, we can leverage that. And make,
So that means you're also compatible. Your service compatible with OmniPC software and TomoView software and all those softwares.
As I said, we're kind of vendor agnostic, so we do not like depend on a specific vendor format. So whatever data it does not matter, but we cannot do the analysis. So we're not reading the raw files, if you will, right? We will get the final output. So if it's a screen capture, super easy to adapt. But as I mentioned earlier, if you're recording data and need analysis, you will still have to do the analysis first using OmniPC. But the output of your analysis, then we will use it.
So you can say like add this indication to the indication table, and then create a report in OmniScan, and then export that report, or how do you export
As
it?
per example, let's say that you've done your analysis, you do have an indication table that has been populated.
Okay.
Then often most softwares will allow you to export that into either CSV or Excel. So ourselves, we can grab that information and import it into the app or into the final report, depending at which stage you are. Okay. So this, I mean, it brings another point, because often you'll have like the technicians gathering information in the field. You may or may not do the analysis on the spot, but then you'll have a second stage where somebody will review. So this is another thing that we can do that is quite unique. We can have different steps, so such that you have acceptance and review. So if somebody, let's say an analyst, review the data, will either accept or reject. It's gonna either go back to the technician with some notes, or if it's accepted, it can go to the next stage.
This
so
is
we
interesting.
can also create those workflows.
Okay, so this is really interesting to me because the app part of it, I've been working on an app recently since a few months, and it's there right now on Play Store, and it's for the phased array technicians. So what that app does is it guides you through a checklist of like different steps that need to be followed to make sure that your inspection your setup has everything it needs to have. You don't miss a step, like you don't forget to set up the range, or you don't forget to set the filters. So I have all the checklist points, so you just keep on checking, okay, and it'll ask you a series of questions, and based on that it'll suggest you what the checklist has to be. And then once that is done, the other feature that app has is it's flaw characterization. So it'll ask you a series of questions related to the flaw, the way it looks on your screen, and the way it behaves, the echostatic pattern, the ecodynamic pattern, and the way the features of the A-scan signal look like. Depending on that, you enter the information on the app, and it gives you the most probable type of defect it is. And it tells you, kind of gives you a guide to like, okay, what you're saying might be a crack. What you're saying might be an IP. And then it has a third tab which has the procedures for that company. So it depends on your login. So you have to log into that tab to access the procedures that only you're supposed to see. And it's that part of the app is not public. It's for the specific employee that is using the app. So that's what, and my fourth tab, which is not yet active, which was going to be, and I was working on that, is the acceptance rejection criteria, which you was just talking about. Is the technician enters the details of the flaw, the length, height, sizing, everything, and you select the code, whether it's API 1104 or ASME, and it tells you whether it's an accept or reject, or what are the acceptable limits for that code. So, and I haven't started working on it. I'm really interested to know if there's in a way I can use your platform to make this happen within my app, or if it's easier for me, I'm more than happy to move my app on your platform and make it work even better. So do you have any suggestions for that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks quite interesting what you've done there. I mean, I would need to look into the specifics
I'll
of
send
it,
you the link to
but
the app. Yeah.
it's either that you could leverage what we've done at KOROK to build your app, because essentially using the app builder offered by KOROK, I think you could replicate what you've done there. We will need to check, or if your app is up and running, then it would be a matter of making sure that the two can talk together, so you get you get both working seamlessly. Essentially, we've made sure that the platform is bi-directional. We can push information to other system, we can retrieve information from other system, so it's quite easy to talk with external system as well. So I believe this is something that could be done. So this is something we could look into.
That's awesome. That sounds really promising.
Because one of the thing is, I mean, when you ask an NDT service company, do you believe that you will be competitive using a pen and paper approach, right? I believe the answer is pretty obvious, and there's a huge trend going towards the digital transformation.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's so handy for the technician. It's literally handy to have everything on your cell phone or your laptop or your tablet. I mean, we used to carry company procedures and binders and folders, the printed ones, and then they would get lost or they would stay in the truck and you never have them on the field, and then you get audited and it's like, oh, I don't know where my procedures. Let me dig through the pile of junk that I have in my truck. But if you have everything on an app or on a tablet, that makes it so much easier to organize and to access the details. You can do Control F and find the relevant information in the procedure that you're looking for. You don't have to scroll through pages. So I'm definitely for the digital trend, and that's why I was interested in your website. I don't know how I came across your website though. That's because I first sent you the message that this looks really interesting, and I might have seen you at a conference where I came
I mean,
across
the first time we met was the IC Pit in 2017, all right?
in Houston.
And in Houston, and at that time I was really just probing the market. I was more in stealth mode. I was more like exploring, making sure that the need was there.
Yeah.
And this is truly maybe we've talked about it at that time, but this is truly in 2018 that I formalized thing, and I went public about it.
Perfect. So I used to work for a company that had an internal server, and they used to use a reporting platform, and that was really
Right.
convenient for us. I started out with that company, and they were like, "Oh, you just have to plug in these numbers and send it to us, and it'll automatically generate reports." And that was really cool because then it creates like a uniformity in the types of reports the company produces, and it's not dependent on the technician. And then I was working for other companies where they would just give out these Excel sheets, and they had some formulas in it where you plug in numbers and it happens. And there were a lot of glitches in those Excel sheets. So I definitely see the advantage of having a digital reports and a digital app and everything in place. So the errors by the technician are reduced as much as possible, and the flow, like you said, is streamlined to from the time the inspection starts to the report generated.
It does, because it is a real challenge. I mean, making sure that everyone follows the format,
Right.
fill in all of the information, that there is no mistake. So,
And that's
with an
exactly
app,
why I had to do the app, because when I'm teaching phase rate and I see that everybody follows a different order and they get confused, like, wait a minute, do I first set the range, or do I first set do the calibration, or do I first do this? I was like, that's why I need to put it in a flow format where you keep on checking the boxes and keep moving through the list. And maybe eventually at some point you don't have to use the app anymore, and that's totally fine. But this is more like when people are starting out, like you said, from the experience of the new people are starting out, they want to learn how the experienced people are doing, and if they have a checklist to start from, checklist is a great thing. I think every company has to have a checklist. That way the new people are not just confused as to what am I supposed to do in this case if this is the situation. So is there anything on the App Store or on the Play Store that I can explore right now to know more about
Yeah,
KOROK?
today, if you go on Google Play and you search for KOROK, you will find it. We've made a couple. There are a few examples there that are available. I'll need to update them because the ones I've published at that time were quite basic. It matured quite a bit ever since then. Otherwise, the way I'm working is whenever a customer is interested, I mean, we provide a demo, and if the interest is there, you recognize the value for them. We set them up with a trial environment so they can test it for themselves.
Perfect. Yeah,
So this is it.
I just downloaded your app, and I'll play with it and explore it a little bit. And
I mean, I'll be pleased to provide you a deeper demo. I mean, I can share a little more with you right now if you have time, or otherwise we can get them at another time.
yeah, actually, I am short on time right now. But I would definitely love to catch up one more time after I get a little bit more time to play with the app and stuff, and I have more questions ready. I would love to know more about this company. It's really
All right,
intriguing.
all right, cool. So I'm glad we've taken some time to well that you've offered this opportunity, so I can share this with you.
Definitely. Thanks for your time as well. And I'll email you. I'll email you, and we can set up another time and we can continue the discussion.
All right, thank you so much.
That's good. Take
All right,
care.
bye bye.
Bye.